Welcome to episode 1, the introduction. So, this is going to be a podcast on parenting. Thinking about calling it the Diary of a Dad. To summarize, it's just videos or a collection of videos that I'm aiming at my children or the children in my life about what's going on day to day in their lives and any wisdom or any life experiences or lessons that I've learned that I could hope to pass on. While they're growing up, these lessons that I'm learning today will mean nothing to them. And the likelihood is I'll forget by the time that they grow older what these lessons are. And I thought this would be a cool way to just document the things that I'm learning now as a parent, as a father, that they could use when they get older. So that is the elevator pitch for this little podcast. I'm thinking about calling it Diary of a Dad. So let's get into it. Today will just be a short introduction about the why, about the goal, the vision, and a little bit more about myself for those of you that, if anyone ever does end up listening to this outside of the people in my life already, then just a little bit about what this video is and the show is going to be about. So in terms of the introduction, the why I can split into 4 main reasons. Number 1, as I mentioned, memories. It's easy to forget what's happening day to day. And especially for children, they won't remember most things as they go older, only the significant events. And therefore, I would hope that the kids in my life, when they get older, they can look back on this and then remember certain memories that have actually happened and then trigger these memories as well. Number 2, it goes down to a personal philosophy of mine, which is Kaizen. Kaizen is a philosophy and it basically just means incremental improvement. So slowly improving every single day, and whether that might be as a parent, a father, as a human being, as a teacher, as a husband, trying to improve every single day. And I do this, and I've tried to for the last couple of years, and I'm trying harder and harder to learn more things, to read more things, to use my time appropriately, making the right choices. And therefore, this is whatever I do learn or things that I think, wow, I wish I learned this sooner. I try my best to make notes of this and write it down so I can share it on this podcast. And that goes on to number 3, to pass on wisdom. Not my wisdom particularly, but maybe something that I've heard someone say that I thought was very beneficial, or any life lessons that I've learned because of things that are happening around me as well. I'd want to write that down and share it. And because I know that I'm going to be doing these videos nearly every week, it will ensure that when I am listening, that I'm actively listening to teach. So we'll be making notes on it and making sure that I remember it so I can share something. Otherwise, the podcast will come around and I won't have anything to say. So that's number 3. And number 4 is, and I mentioned this already, is what I wished I knew earlier in my journey. I did have people, and I have people to help and guide me when I was younger. But when you're being advised when you're young, you tend to forget very, very quickly. And therefore, I wanted to do something like this, where yes, you may forget, but then you can go back and rewatch it if you ever feel like, this was something good and I wanted to, just go through it again so I can truly understand what it was as well. The goal for the podcast is to become the number 1 parenting podcast in the world. And the vision and the long-term vision is to get people on the show that are successful, that are extraordinary some way, or just people that are just great parents. And share their journey with us in parenting and what they did that they feel worked well. I walk around here sometimes and I see some really, really great parents, or I may never meet the parents, but I can see the children and the way that they're disciplined, how polite they are, kind, how hardworking they are. There must be something that the parents have done that have made their child turn out that way. And I would love for them to just come and have a little chat with me so we can take those lessons and hopefully share that and add value to my life and maybe anyone else that might be interested as well. So parents, I would want parents to come in and have that discussion. Maybe people that have had a particularly really good childhood, or maybe people that have had really bad ones and have taken some valuable lessons from it as well. And lastly, experts in their field, wherever that might be, but that can actually give advice to parents from their scope. So for example, if someone is an expert in finance, to come down and have a discussion on financial literacy and why it's so important, and what parents can do to cultivate financial literacy within their own kids as well. And before we finish, just a little bit about me. So if I've not mentioned it, my name is Mohammed Ganchi. I am a father of three, two boys and a girl. The oldest boy is 7, the middle is about 4, and the youngest is 1. I'm married for 8 years. We live in Dubai. We've been here for 2 years now, and I'm a teacher. And that is all for episode 1. And hopefully I'll make another video next week, and this time share some insights or some experiences that have happened within the week or things that I've learned with you guys. Thank you very much for listening.